I made a reel saying that I cured myself of depression, anxiety, and a bipolar disorder diagnosis through meditation. Although the piece of content that I made last year got a lot of kind of backlash, so many people out there are searching for answers because this is my journey. I can say that I went from somebody who was utterly depressed. I knew the answer was not that I had a chemical imbalance. That to where I am now, if I can feel the happiness, peace, tranquility that I have felt this past year through all of the things that I've endured, I know that everybody else, there's hope for everyone.
My name is Jordan, and for the last 9 years, I've been living for what many might have looked like a dream. I was a real estate broker in one of the fastest growing cities of America, but for some reason could just never quite find happiness. After being diagnosed with a rare, incurable eye disease that oftentimes leads to blindness, I decided now more than ever is a time for me to follow my true dreams, which is to see the world. So I packed up my bags, packed up my home, and bought a one-way ticket across the world. During my solo travels, I rediscovered a new meaning for life and found that there was hope for me to heal my own body. I'm so excited that you're joining me on this journey as I rediscover me and find that this diagnosis was the best thing that ever happened to me.
So a year ago, I made a reel saying that I cured myself of depression, anxiety, and a bipolar disorder diagnosis through meditation. And over this past year, that piece of content has gotten so many views, and I've continued to make little pieces of content about how I cured my depression or how I cured my anxiety. I've continued to make little pieces of content just to kind of test out this theory of mine that so many people out there are searching for answers for depression, anxiety. Maybe they were diagnosed with something called bipolar, whatever it is. And although the piece of content that I made last year got a lot of kind of backlash or negative comments of people basically doubting this statement that I made, that I cured myself of that, or people saying that there was no way I was really diagnosed with bipolar disorder if I was able to cure myself of it. Whatever the actual statements, negative statements were or backlash were, I'm really more so interested in the people that were leaving questions and asking me more about my meditation practice, what foods I've been eating, because that has contributed to it, and also my yoga practices and just my daily rituals that have contributed to the fact that I can say this past year and a half has been the most crazy, stressful, lost point of my entire life, but I've been happier than I've ever been. As somebody who has suffered with depression or anxiety pretty much my entire life, I can remember being 4 or 5 years old and having teachers having conversations with my parents, or even just remember sitting in my room at a really young age at 5 or 6 years old and just being really, really sad and depressed for no reason. I had a pretty decent upbringing. It's not like I had anything traumatic happen to me, but I just always was a really sad soul. And I knew throughout my life that I didn't want to be on medication. I did try. I had gone to 3 different therapists over the course of 15 years. But I knew at the end of the day that there was just no way that I had a chemical imbalance. There was no way that I was so sad for no reason. Yes, I had traumas and hardships, but there was no way that I was so sad compared to other people that had gone through lots of different things and they were still managing. I knew the answer was not that I had a chemical imbalance, and I was not going to accept that. So throughout my life, I have had different times that I was going to therapists. There was 2 different occasions, once when I was 18 and once as an adult that I had been on medication for a short period of time, and I just knew that there was some other way. So I'm making this video for people that are interested in what my journey was, and I will say this is my journey. All of our journeys look different, but I can say very confidently that there are things that we can incorporate into our lives that are not quick fixes, but more so help us start going down a journey of shifting our mind frames, shifting how we deal with things, shifting how we look at things, and also help regulate our physical bodies and our emotional, our spiritual bodies, all of it. So I'm making this video because I wanted to answer questions that I got from that reel about just my overall practices and how I can say, because this is my journey, I can say that I went from somebody who was utterly depressed, bipolar symptoms, highs and lows for months at a time, anxiety for no reason, walking down the grocery store aisles and having my heart pounding out of my chest for no reason at all. I can confidently say that if I went from somebody who was dealing with that, very, very suicidal for a chunk of my life, if I can go from that to where I am now, which has had the craziest, most up and down, what most people would say most stressful year of my life, if I can feel the happiness, peace, tranquility that I have felt this past year through all of the things that I've endured, I know that everybody else, like, there's hope for everyone. But it has to just be something that you personally want, you're interested in, and you're responsible for your journey and your own healing. So I want to make a video about that. So one of the questions that I got was, with my meditation practice, how often, how long did it take, and kind of what did that look like? So I started meditating for, I want to say, 5 to 10 minutes every day. I was meditating for, I don't know, maybe a couple of months I was doing that. Then I decided that, hey, I wanted to start going to what is called a sound bath, which is basically I kind of think of it as a meditation with live music, with sound, with like the singing bowls. So then I started going to that, and those were about 30 minutes each. Now, I will say that you absolutely don't need to go to a meditation studio, or you don't need to go to sound baths. There are places like that out there, but I think the actual key is that because I enjoyed that so much and I was going every single night, it was pretty much the only thing I left my house for, was to go to those meditations. I can confidently say that if you do like a 20-minute meditation in the morning or at night, or both the morning and at night, a 20-minute meditation, that's where I would start. There are apps like Breathe, there's different health apps that you can look into. If you're like brand new to meditation and you have no idea how to do it, which I was there for a really long time, I had no idea what I was supposed to even be doing in meditation, but there are lots of different places that you can find guided meditation. There's guided meditations on YouTube. There's apps that you can find that help you with meditation. So I would first suggest putting it in like your daily rituals, that you're going to do a meditation either in the morning or at night. In the morning to like start your day, or at night to close out the day. If you're really wanting to go the extra mile, I would do a meditation in the morning and at night religiously, and try to maybe start off, if you're brand new to meditation, doing a meditation for 5 or 10 minutes. Do a guided meditation. This will help you get your headspace where it'll help guide you to where you need to be. Moving forward down your journey, I personally now practice Vipassana meditation, which is basically mindfulness. But I think in the beginning, if you're brand new to meditation, I would definitely go for the guided meditations. So that's kind of where I first started, was doing those meditations. The second piece to that is I would journal either before or after my meditations, and I would just free write. I know this sounds very silly and pointless, but journaling actually helped relieve me of everything that was inside of me. So if I was feeling happy that day, sad that day, overwhelmed, if I was upset about a situation, if I felt nothing, like stagnant, I would journal about it. Depending on where my headspace was, I would journal. If I felt pretty clear, I would journal after my meditation, and I would journal about what came up in my meditation, like what thoughts, emotions, feelings, maybe past images of things. I would journal about that. I would journal about that after my meditation. Or if I woke up and I was really heavy, I was thinking about a lot of things, I would journal before my meditation, just so that when I went into my meditation, I had a clear head. So I would definitely start implementing guided meditations, or you can look into Vipassana, mindfulness meditations, and journaling. So those were the two things that I just dove into. The other thing that I definitely know has had a huge impact on just my overall just well-being is my eating. Most people think that they eat healthy, and it's sad because even people that think they're eating healthy aren't eating healthy. And even if you are eating healthy, if you haven't detoxified your body from all of the damage you've done leading up into however old you are, it doesn't matter how healthy you're eating, because you still have all of this buildup and mucoid plaque and mucus and fungus and parasites, so all this stuff in your body. And if somebody tells you that your eating or detoxing doesn't affect your mental headspace, they are wrong. You can look up your adrenals, your pituitary gland, those all have to do with our mental headspace. So if you have treated your body not great in the past, and now you're being healthy, you still have all of the damage that you did because you never detoxed that out of your body. So I highly suggest detoxing your body, and then going towards trying to regenerate some of these glands that do have to do with your mental headspace, and eating healthier. Now, if you are just overall not treating yourself good right now and not eating healthy, that has something to do with your headspace. So I will say that the 3 first things that I did on my journey to heal myself of depression, anxiety, and bipolar symptoms. I put bipolar symptoms in quotation because I don't really believe in labels or diseases at this point in my journey. But those were the 3 things that I dove into that I can say dramatically shifted my entire life. There obviously are other things that I have incorporated, which I will go into at a later time. But those 3 things, as far as journaling, meditation, and my eating, changed everything for me. I am so grateful for just my intuitive nature knowing that like this was just not it. I had a doctor one time tell me, a gynecologist, ironically, I was in her office and I was just bawling, crying for whatever reason. I have no idea why, but I was bawling, crying. And she looked at me and said, some people just have chemical imbalances and maybe you just need to be on anti-anxiety medicine. And I just remember thinking like, this is not it for me. There's no reason why I need to be on medication for the rest of my life and everyone else doesn't have to be on it. It just didn't make sense. And I also didn't believe that I needed to depend on anything outside of myself in order to function on a day-to-day. So I'm so happy that like everything in my journey has led me up to where I've been, because I did dive deeper. I did take a deeper look into just things outside of the norm to try to heal myself. And I can confidently say that the practices that I've implemented into my life over the past 1.5 years has totally shifted and changed my life forever. So those of you that are interested in my journey, interested in knowing that if I can change, you can change, please stay tuned. Please comment below. Let me know what you guys are interested in seeing, learning more about. I am going to be doing a lot more videos about yoga practices for detoxing, yoga practices for your mental health, the detoxing process, the actually shifting your nutrition for a more vibrant, healthier life. I'm going to be doing content about that and meditations as well, and the deep inner work that I've been diving into. So if there's anything specific that you guys want to learn more about, please let me know. But thank you so much for even inquiring about my journey. I am so happy to share, because I just know that if I could come out from where I was, which was suicidal, about to check myself into a mental program, outpatient program, if I was there, and then fast forward to now, or not even fast forward to now, but fast forward to a couple months after that, when I started diving deep into myself, everything shifted. It didn't shift overnight. It was not a quick fix. Oh, I did meditation for like a week and now I'm better. No, it was not that. It was more so I started on a long journey somewhere. I started on a journey, and as I continued on the journey, as I continue on my journey, things have gotten easier. I won't say that there aren't hard days, there aren't hard moments, but what used to send me overboard and upset me for like a month now may only upset me for 1 hour. And I've realized through meditation that I was never actually really depressed, that it was more of me not being aware of my mind and how it worked. And now I have more control over my mind, which has shifted me into just being a much more peaceful, just overall better person. So I'll leave this here. Yeah, I'll be doing more content about this. Thank you.